Everything you know about Minecraft lore is wrong. The ancient builders didn't fall to a war or a mistake. They were infected, not by an army, but by something far worse, something biological, psychological, dimensional. Welcome to the Parasite Protocol, a classified timeline of the infection that didn't just destroy Minecraft's greatest civilization, it consumed them. You think the ancient builders built the strongholds to protect themselves? You are dead wrong. They were trying to quarantine an infection. Look closely at the silverfish. These aren't normal insects. They only naturally spawn in 2 places in the entire game: deep inside extreme hills and buried directly into the stone walls of the Stronghold portal rooms. Why would an advanced civilization build their final, most important bunker out of infested stone? They didn't. The silverfish are a subterranean parasite that eats infrastructure. They weren't naturally occurring. They were a targeted infestation. As the builders locked themselves away, these parasites breached the walls, literally eating their defenses from the inside out and forcing them to flee into the portal. The stronghold wasn't a fortress. It was a breached quarantine zone. Their final sanctuary was gone. The infection had breached the stronghold. With no defenses left, they activated the end portal. They thought they were escaping the parasite. But you can't outrun an infection, especially when it follows how you travel. The builders thought escaping into the end would save them from the infection, but they opened the door to something much worse. Whenever you throw an ender pearl, there is a 5% chance you spawn an endermite. And if an enderman sees it, it will hunt the parasite down immediately, ignoring everything else. Why the absolute hatred? Because endermites aren't insects. They are dimensional leeches. When the builders tore holes in reality to teleport, these void-dwelling parasites latched on. They literally feed on the teleportation energy flowing through the builder's blood. The Endermen aren't just squashing a bug. They are frantically trying to exterminate a cosmic infection. The parasites followed them into the void. Now trapped in the end, the survivors were hunted from within. Every teleport risked bringing the infection with them. With no safe ground and no way back, they pushed themselves beyond human limits. And that's when their minds began to break. If you haven't slept in Minecraft, you're already infected. Stop calling them monsters. Phantoms are a psychic infection. Phantoms only appear after 3 days without sleep. And when they die, they drop the only material that repairs elytra wings. They aren't birds, they aren't real. They are hallucinations, made physical. The ancient builders fought an apocalypse, but their sleep deprivation didn't weaken them. It created something. It feeds on exhaustion, and it was hunting them long before you ever logged in. While the survivors lost their sanity in the end, the infection continued spreading across the overworld. The remaining builders went underground, not to hide, but to fight back. They began designing something desperate. A biological cure. The cure for the infection already exists, and it's worse than the disease. Slimes don't spawn randomly, only deep underground, or during specific moon phases. That's not natural. They weren't mobs. They were designed, living weapons. Builders created them to hunt the infection, like white blood cells. But something went wrong. They didn't stop growing. They didn't stop consuming. They stopped knowing what to kill. The cure didn't save the world. It replaced it. The cure failed. The overworld was lost. The infection and the cure turned on everything. The last survivors were stranded in the end. No food, no sunlight, no escape, until they found something that would change them forever. The Endermen didn't evolve, they were infected, and the virus came from what they ate. Chorus fruit is the only food in the end, and eating it forces you to teleport. That's not normal. That's not magic. It's a biological virus. To survive, the builders had to eat it. But the plant spreads itself by teleporting its spores inside the host. It didn't just feed them, it rewrote them, stretching their limbs and binding them to the end forever. They didn't become Endermen, they were converted. The survivors were no longer human. The virus had taken their bodies and their minds. But deep beneath the overworld, the infection was still evolving. The original parasite hadn't died. It had been waiting. The builders tried to contain the infection, but it learned how to hunt. Skulk isn't a block. It's alive. When something dies near it, it consumes the experience, the souls, and it grows. It's not just spreading. It's thinking. A sentient hive mind. It didn't just consume the builders. It learned from them, compressing thousands of trapped souls into one blind guardian. The Warden isn't a monster. It's the system defending itself. The builders didn't lose. They were absorbed. The silverfish ate their walls. The endermites drained their energy. The phantoms broke their minds. The slimes replaced their cure. The chorus fruit rewrote their DNA. And the skulk absorbed their souls. The ancient builders didn't just die. They became the monsters. The quarantine failed. The infection is still here. And now, you are the only host left. Subscribe, because this world isn't what you think it is.